Twitch and get this chat up.
Hi guys! Hello MangaPod viewers! Welcome to the MangaPod, which occasionally gets started a little bit later than
That was my bad.
That was also my bad.
Entirely my bad.
That was also my bad. We had a few things going on.
I guess so.
Let's share the fault in this, please.
You go first, because mine is a little bit dumber.
Mine is, David got the Heart of the Swarm, and he is so excited to be playing it, but it made his computer really, really loud after he finished it, and it was so loud that, like, Dazza couldn't even hear me on the Skypes, and so it's like, Rrr. So then I had to shut it down, and then when I restarted it, it like froze, and then everything shut off, and then I started again, and then it froze again, and I was just like, what is happening? So
that's unfortunate.
That was the thing. So if you hear the fan in the background, sorry. I put a blanket
Blame
over
David.
it, but I tried. Blame
It's
David.
David's fault.
It's David's fault,
Yeah.
really. He's gonna
The
stop
sound
modding.
actually isn't a fan, it's just David.
We need to stop saying that because he'll end up just like not modding. He'll just
I know,
leave.
he's like, I quit.
I give up. But yeah, so that was my reason, Dodger.
My reason was because I had somehow convinced myself that we were only supposed to read 4 volumes. And then today, around the middle of the day, I was heading over to TGS to have a meeting and realized we were supposed to read 7 volumes. So when I got back, I hurriedly read through the last 4 volumes and didn't finish until like maybe 4 minutes ago.
You
So
did awesome.
Thank you.
You got it done
I
really
blasted
Right on
through
time.
that stuff. Right on time.
I don't
Question
think
mark.
almost. I don't think any of us finished before today. I think we all kind
Yeah,
of.
I marathon
Okay.
5.5 volumes.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
I think I read
Yes.
all of it besides the first chapter.
Yes.
The first chapter, really?
Oh,
I read the
wow.
first chapter Saturday night on the bus on the way home, and then I read the rest today.
Well, good. At least we all read it. At least
We
we're not in
did.
here
We
being
did all
like,
read
It's still
it.
fresh.
oh. So, but anyway, welcome MangaPod viewers. That was a little just small intro thing for you.
Yeah, ramble before we start.
A little bit of a ramble. We didn't have enough time to do this on Skype before we started, so now you guys get
That
to
is
join in
true.
with us. If you have never seen MangaPod before, what it is a weekly podcast in which we get together after reading part or all of a manga, and then we discuss it in depth. We are going to be discussing this week Owl Generation Basket. If you guys did not read it, there are going to be spoilers. So sorry, but we will give you a quick little description of it. So if you do want to read it, you'll know a little bit about what it is, and then you can go and watch the VOD, which I will upload onto my channel as soon as we are done here. Yeah. So with
Unless anything
me-
goes wrong like last time.
unless something goes wrong, and I can we really quick while we're talking about what went wrong, can we talk about how nobody commented on my editing and what I put over the edited stuff? Did nobody
No one
commented on
mentioned it at all.
No one mentioned it. I was so disappointed, and I put so much effort into it. Did anybody see it? Did either of you see it?
I didn't watch.
I mean,
really good.
over Skype,
It
you
was-
were like, hey, you're not believe what I'm gonna put over this thing. And then you showed it to me, and I thought it was funny. I didn't see
Yes.
it in action, though.
Okay, so you know what it was. It was a picture of Kuroko from the anime when he's leaning over the bus seat going like this, and he had like the derpy face, and I put that over it, and I thought it was the funniest thing, and then nobody commented on it. And I was really sad.
Very-
But
And we're not
anyways.
doing MangaPod anymore. This is the last episode.
Done.
Glad to have you.
Done. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for joining.
Such- We're gonna keep doing it.
No, just don't leave. Please don't leave. But I'm HappiLeeErin, your host, and my lovely co-hosts here are Dodger, who just took a glass of water, or a drink of water.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for being here, pretty lady. Then we also have Yokorama.
Hey
down there.
guys, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah. Then we also got Dr. Dazza. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Hey, hi. Now, to do that lovely description we were talking about earlier, we have a thing here called Dr. Dazza's description, in which Dr. Dazza reads it for us. So, shall we go into it, sir?
Let's try this.
Let's try it. Oh.
You okay over there?
I'm trying to get my basketball before we act this out. Hang on.
Oh, I don't have a basketball. This is so unfair.
I didn't get a basketball. I'm getting headphones just in case. Somebody's saying there's echo. It might be me.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Okay.
All I'm gonna do is hold the basketball.
Akane Tachibana is a freshman high school student who, despite his talent for basketball, decides to abandon sports clubs due to the pressure put on him by them. Once he arrives at Kozu High, however, he meets the other basketball player who has ever caught his eye on the courts and decides to join the team. The grammar in this is horrible. The first match is an exhibition game against the league's strongest team, Yamazaki, the team that Hiragi's father coaches, and in which his older brother plays for. Hiragi ends up playing in the second half of the game, and they seem to not be working well together on the court, losing the game until, unintentionally, one of the senior players on the team challenges them to beat him. They join forces, inspiring the team to victory. Thus starts the story of a group of teenagers working to reach the top, fighting tooth and nail the entire way. Brackets wiki.
That was maybe the worst description we've had
That
on this
was-
show so far.
that
But
was a
I
really
applaud
bad
you
description.
reading it.
That was great. That was wonderful, Dr. Daza. Yes.
And I am done.
Bye. He just logs off.
Scene.
End of
Done.
scene.
Finished.
That is as spoiler-free as it is going to get, and from here on out, we are going to be discussing the first 7 volumes of it, or the first 35 chapters? It was
Yes.
35, right? Yes, the
Yes.
first 35 chapters.
Yeah.
So, we love you all, but if you're not wanting to get spoiled, go read it, and you can watch the VOD on my channel later. Yeah!
Yeah!
So, let's hop into this. What were your guys' expectations before you started reading the manga? Because this was a basketball manga that nobody expected us to read. So, what were your expectations? So, Dodger, would you like to begin?
Sure. So, I talked about this on the last MangaPod, but I had read the first 2 volumes of this manga before, but like years ago, so long ago that the only thing that I remembered was there were 2 main dudes and they loved basketball. That's all I remembered. So, I was hoping and expecting to love it. I wasn't sure what the story type was going to be, and honestly, I expected it to be more like Kuroko and Prince of Tennis in that all of the major characters would have, like, super awesome abilities, but they didn't really. And so that kind of caught me off guard, but at the same time made it more honest. So it was more of an honest kind of slice of life manga than I expected it to be.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Sweet. Yokorama, would you like
Well,
to go next?
I expected that it would be about basketball. 'Cause I looked at
Why?
the picture and there was a basketball in it, and but yeah, like Dodger said, it wasn't really over the top when it comes to other sports series. Like it's not even about just having like super duper abilities. It's about just being good at something, like making like 3-point shots every time and not missing. You know, they were like people. They were actual people, and it felt more realistic, and you can kind of relate a bit more. Even though some parts were still a little bit over exaggerated, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't as crazy as Kuroko. Like, we're probably gonna reference Kuroko a lot in this
Maybe.
podcast.
Somebody start a
and-
counter.
We need that. We need a Kuroko counter.
No, ding ding.
We're at 2.
Ding.
So
Yeah, I
far.
think we're at 2.
I'm gonna keep a
All right.
count.
Chat.
We're gonna lose
Oh,
count. We're
this
gonna
is
run.
your-
1, 2. Done.
This-
I've written it down.
No Twitter, no,
Gonna
no.
have points. But yeah, it was really good. I just liked I guess how different like the 2 of the main character were. Like I didn't expect all this character development in
Yeah.
like such a short time, because like you got invested in the characters pretty much from the beginning. You know, usually it takes a little bit of time, but like this is like right from the beginning. The first volume, I mean, you're already kind of like carrying what's gonna happen. Like are they gonna play together? Are they not gonna play together? Like, what's going on? And they look like they hate each other, now they're best friends. Like, what's going on? You know, so it was kind of cool. I guess the pacing of it was very interesting compared to other sports series, and I had an enjoyment reading it.
Yes. Awesome. Dazza?
Well, I thought it was going to be a little bit about basketball, just just like the games and sports, because I've never really read a sports manga before, or ever read a sports manga. I haven't even read Kuroko, so there you go. That's just the reference. So I didn't really know what to expect, and it was how I expected it to be, just about basketball and about the games and more character development, like Yoku said, than I really thought there was going to be, which was nice. And it was a bit shonen in the fact that the new kids are the best ones in the whole basketball team.
Of
Yay! That was of course a little bit expected, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much the same as all of you guys. I definitely, I went into it with the mindset of, this isn't Kuroko. This is, I just need to think about it separately, because I didn't want to be comparing it the whole time. And so I went into it with, this is a completely different story, it's got a different plot, everything. And so I definitely was, not expecting to get as much character development outside the court as we did. I was expecting it to be, more of, a typical, shonen manga where it's lots of basketball and hey, here's these characters that have these really big goals and they come together to do it, and they're da-da-da-da. And so I wasn't expecting there not to be quite as many matches. I was expecting there to be more basketball, like you guys were saying. And I ended up really getting invested into the characters, I think because of how they did the backstories. And it wasn't just a slow rollout of backstories. It was they kind of gave it to you at a very different pacing than you see in other sports manga. So, so I was expecting to like it, but I don't think I was expecting to like it quite as much as I did. I ended up really, really enjoying it. I got really invested, especially in the last 2 volumes. I felt a lot of things, which we will get into. So, so how did you guys... So, it starts off pretty fast-paced with the first match. What did you guys think about that first match when you're first introduced to those 2 characters? The 2 main characters. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember
what even happened.
I asked the question. I was like, wait, do I have an answer? Yeah. But I immediately, when I saw the first 2 main characters, what I loved about them is they were both kind of huge assholes, especially to one another. They weren't team players. They were huge jerks, and they totally understood each other because they were both jerks.
Yeah, the game didn't even finish because they started.
They started beating each other up.
That's right. Oh gosh, God, it's been forever.
Yeah.
I loved that. I don't know. I love that the characters are Hitonari and Akane are very, very different, but at the same time they have so many similarities that just crack me up, like how they do not care about school at all, fully willing to just skip class, just super deadbeat at everything except basketball. It's just so funny, but at the same time they still wind up creating more of a seriousness in one character and so much silliness in the other one that you feel like you still get lots of depth and difference with the 2 mains. So
yeah, I really like how they're, like you were saying, they're so similar but so different at the same time. Their differences just show up in different ways, and I really love that Hiragane seems to be a lot more level-headed, but still loses it at times. It's different things that set each one of them off. So I really liked the 2 main characters a lot. I thought they were presented very well, and their personality was shown off very quickly, and then it also still developed as more was revealed about them and their basketball play. So what about you boys? What did you think about them?
About the characters or about the stars?
About the... Oh, that's right. We went into a different question.
Yeah, there's 2 questions going on now.
Whatever. It's whatever.
I'll say both. I didn't like the start that much. I couldn't get into it that much. It took a really long time for me to get into it, and I didn't like the characters that much to start off with. Because it was kind of why do I care about these characters who want to play basketball? And there's this one who's just going around the school being like, yeah, I don't want to play basketball. And I'm just like, why do I care? Why do I care that these people want to play basketball?
Then quit,
Just
you
play
whiny
basketball.
butthole.
Exactly. So there was that, and as it kind of gotten on, you kind of, as we learnt more of their backstories, we got more entrenched in the characters. They got a lot better. I thought, especially the main two. They're like one of my favorite lines was just said in the chat was, "What'd you eat for breakfast? Nothing. You? 10 muffins."
It's like, oh, okay.
That's right. Like the first time that they're like, "So are we friends? Are we?"
Yeah, that was
to
the most
school
awkward
together?
scene ever.
It was
so
amazing.
great.
Tension, though.
I
That
loved
was
it because
great.
that totally happens. Like when you've had an interaction with somebody and you're like, wow, like I could really get along with this person. And then the next time you see them, you're like, wait, are we friends now?
Do
What
we-
is
funny 'cause the girls
do
are
I
just
just walk up to you?
What do we title ourselves?
So funny.
What is this relationship?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
love
loved that. What about you, Yokorama? Did you like it from the start?
Yeah,
Or-
I liked it from the start because I'm kind of used to these sort of starts. Like I've read a few other sports mangas, and they do a lot of the times just throw you into the series with a match or something. You're just like, oh, okay, and then they kind of like already show you what kind of characters the main characters are. Like ones, and they're both assholes, you know, in the start. That they show that from the beginning, and then they start building up on that, and it's kind of cool because there was a lot of funny scenes. In the start, you know, how like like I said, they didn't even finish the match. You know, they started the brawl, and
Yeah.
like, you know, the brother showed up, and the brother like remembers Tachibana because of that, like, you know, drop kick. You know, it was a really funny start, and like I was straight up, I'm like, okay, these characters, they're entertaining. It's not like I cared for them in the beginning because you're not gonna care from somebody when you don't know anything about them, but they were interesting, they were entertaining. And then, like Dazza said, once we saw more about them, learned a little bit more about their backstories, and you just start liking those characters a lot more, and you become a lot more interested in what's gonna happen with them and like the way, you know, where they're gonna go, and you know, you start caring for them, not like from the beginning, but. I just like that they're not the only like main focus of the
Yeah,
that's
too.
yeah.
There was many chapters where it completely like they weren't really even in it almost, you know. It just it had all completely like about the other characters, and even when they were in it, it was still about the other characters. Like one of my favorite one was about that not like the captain, but that vice captain or whatever of the basketball
Oh,
team.
I loved him.
The captain
I
kept getting
love
made
that
fun of
story.
I
by
cried
by
during
Vinny
that
Fuji
one.
all the time.
I was like,
That was
I know.
I liked that one.
Yeah, none of the side stories felt contrived either
Mm-hmm.
to me. Like sometimes the way that they choose to attempt to tell you more about a character, you're just like, really? That's the segue into telling us their backstory? That seems really strange. But I loved that it was things like Tachibana acting totally in character and taking somebody's jacket, just being like, whatever, I'll give it back.
It was raining outside.
Yeah, and then
He's like, I was cold.
him, and in his mind, he's like, well, I'll buy him a new one. And it winds up leading into this, like, no, that jacket was really important. And, you know, you find out why. And I thought that all of those moments that happened, those chapters that were about other characters, felt honest. I'm going to use the word honest a lot when talking about this manga, but
It's a good word to describe
it's,
it, though.
you know, it is.
You know,
Yes.
Yeah, I honestly like some of the side characters more than the main characters.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh.
I like the captain.
True.
I know he wasn't in it
He's
too
great.
much, but the captain with the
I
messed up knee,
loved him.
that guy was pretty cool. I also like that musician, the musician dude, you know.
Yeah.
The one that
the-
stabbed him.
Yeah, the one that
Knife
stabbed
wielding psycho?
Tachibana.
Yeah, the psycho stabby person or whatever
Yeah.
you call
Yeah.
it. Psycho knife dude.
I don't know. Even though we didn't get to see as much of those guys, you still kind of like you cared what's gonna be happening and like how they're gonna be part of the story. And I just found them a little bit more entertaining. Maybe because the two main characters, they're pretty cliche, you know, like as main characters. That's probably
They're
why.
very shonen.
And a lot of the times when it comes to like cliche characters like that, I tend to kind of like look at the side characters, and I tend to like side characters a bit more. It's not like I'm trying to bash or not. I don't like the main characters. They're still cool and entertaining and all, but the other side characters. I kind of want to see more of them. I want to see more of them, even though we got to see quite a bit of them. And of course, the mustache guy. The guy's awesome.
Oh my god!
Guy was that.
I love his side
Danny
story.
Mustache
made me
Guy's
laugh.
best character.
I think that was the best side chapter.
That was the best.
where he's got-
That was the best chapter of
Danny
what we read.
Mustache Boy.
That was
Oh
so
my god, the end of
sad.
that chapter when we found out that it was that little girl, I was just, no! Give this guy a break!
Wait,
Like,
you guys
damn.
didn't see that coming?
I did
I
not see
totally
that
thought
coming.
that was. Oh really? I totally thought that's who it was gonna be. I
but
still loved
did-
that one though.
I did suspect that something was amiss the first time that he saw her, because in the note she had said that half of her body didn't work correctly or something, and the girl was standing there totally normal, and I was like,
Oh yeah, that's towards the end. Towards the end, that's like the chapter. But in the beginning, when he was actually like having those conversations and stuff with her on that wall, like on the chalk wall. Yeah, that was. I don't know, man. And then he didn't get a break though. At the end, he
I
just
know,
walks
I
off crying.
it was
Like,
so
he-
cute.
He reminded me a lot about like of Kuwabara though, like Kuwabara from.
Oh,
Hospital.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the pompadour. It's the
Yeah.
That hairstyle.
And being the whole like
was
manly
cute.
dude with like a code type, you know. Thing. It was really.
I loved his introduction. It seemed so random. Like when he first showed up, he's like, "I love you."
Kiss me.
Kiss me. He's like,
And
"That's not what I wanted
shit,
to
I've been
say.
practicing in
That's
my
not what I
head the
wanted
whole
to say."
time, and I screwed up.
And then
That
as he's
was
leaving,
so funny.
as he's
Oh.
leaving, he means to say like pronounce, and he says pathetic, and everyone's like, "Did he just call himself pathetic?" Like, I mean, he is, but why is he saying?
My love
these
for you is
things?
eternal and pathetic. That's
He-
like the best line.
He had some of my favorite scenes, like near the end of the match against when the elite team or whatever.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they're like Akane rips off his clothes and then it goes to Danny Mustache Man and he's like, can I play now? And then he says yes. He's like crying in the background.
I
That
know.
was my favorite
I love how
page.
it's like, and that's really what they've done with all of the characters is they start off kind of one-dimensional, and then they develop into this, this thing that continues where
Yeah.
the character will have something about them that comes up over and over again. Like he's become the over-emotional character, or he just gets so happy, he just like cries and there's sparkles
Yeah,
everywhere.
he cries like
Oh,
so
I
many
love
times.
it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So great.
Love it.
Yeah, you're right. Like, they totally start out where you're like, oh, this one's, like, cliche, this fills this role. But they totally develop them and, like, give them more sides that make you really enjoy
Yeah,
them.
they
and like
became their
seeing
own
them.
characters. Really.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sumire, the girl, I really, really like her because I think typically in sports manga when there's like a love interest for one of the main people, they wind up getting into that sport because of that person. And even though that might have been the case before the manga starts, they start off with her already being really into basketball, like really loving basketball and being on a team already.
But she
And-
sucks, though, badly.
Yeah, she's really bad at it, but
Just
she has heart.
Yeah, she tries.
But I really liked that there isn't that whole thing where she's like, oh wow, I really admire him. I think I'll play basketball too.
Yeah.
Where she already is involved in that world, like she's already part of everything. So
I like that she's not, like, an awkward, blushing, like, really shy around him either. Like, she's very open and friendly and, like, she isn't afraid to boss him around, and even when her friend is calling her out, be like, "You guys have a thing. You guys do it. You guys got a thing."
Did you guys
She's just
do
like,
it? Are you guys doing it? And she's like, what?
Oh, I remember that question.
What are you
You're like bestie. It's so awkward.
So you guys doing it? You did it right. I know
Again,
you
another
did it.
Hakusho comparison, but she reminded me of Keiko. Like she reminded me of Keiko a lot.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but yeah, she reminded me of her. That's two
So
Hakusho
funny.
connections there. Wow.
Oh, tally it up.
Have a Hakusho tally going.
It's catching up to the Kuroko references.
Oh gosh, you guys.
We're at 5.
We need to make more. We need to make more. I can't think of any more.
Any more references to Kuroko?
Just yes. No.
Oops.
Dazza, are you okay? Dazza.
Yeah, no, I was writing more Kuroko references.
Oh,
there you
really?
go.
Somebody in the chat.
You go.
Somebody in the chat mentioned that you haven't disconnected yet, so that's good.
Oh no,
Yeah.
now it's Jigs.
Oh, It's
10
fine.
seconds
It'll
later,
be
he's
fine.
gone.
He's gone.
It's gonna be like this circle spinning around his face.
No. No. Okay, I wanted to talk about the coach while we're talking about characters. The coach. What did you guys think of her? Because at first, I like the whole, like, she definitely felt like one-dimensional, and I was just like, what are you here for? Like, what are you doing? Then she was like sexually harassing Hiragane, like grabbing his butt. She's like, you used to like this when you were younger. And I was like, what?
That's so weird.
I was like, he's 15. Well, how much younger are we talking here? And then, I don't know, like, and then there was times where I was like, is she doing anything? Like, is she even coaching them really? But by like volume 7, I really, really liked her. I was like, okay, I realize why you're here. You're here to like help them be good people and like overcome things and like solve their problems.
She's like the moral support. She doesn't actually teach him basketball.
She's more of a manager.
She's like the powerful maternal character. She's like that strong mother to all of these dudes who are just so weird.
Yeah.
They need a weird mom to deal with their weirdness.
Her like random nude scene caught me so off guard.
I know. I wasn't expecting that.
I was like, tits? What did you come from? I guess there was plenty of shirtless guys. We just needed to have at least one boobies.
Hey, it made me happy, so
Daz was like, finally.
Boobs.
Got so used to like the whole old boy thing that something felt wrong. Something was missing.
Something was off.
Oh man.
I did like the reference, so her name, they made a reference to Lupin the Third with her name as well.
Yeah, I like that.
And that was really cool because she sort of has that look about her, which I thought was really
And she
nice.
has the attitude as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
she
her
has-
attitude. Her attitude's great.
What about that scene where the brakes got cut? What'd you think about that?
Oh god.
I was just like, what? What's happened?
So angry.
Yeah, really angry.
She she took all that time to try and look pretty because she knew that the guy that she really liked when she was younger was going to be at the barbecue. And if she hadn't gone back to get meat for the party, then she never would have got the brakes cut. I was so angry. There were just so many things.
That was like...
Not her lucky day.
It wasn't. There was
brought
a
them
point...
together.
Worst birthday ever.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was the day before her birthday.
Yes.
She was in the hospital for her birthday.
Yes. Which is so much better.
That's so much better, right?
I'm sure they bring you like Jello or something with like candle
Jello
on top.
with a candle. Jello with a candle.
And that dude was right by her bedside and like hugging on her and stuff. So I'm sure she was
so
fine.
sweet.
She was
So,
happy.
okay,
Yeah,
that was one part where like I think that was the only part the whole time I was reading it where I like kind of rolled my eyes a little bit and was like, oh great, this is so much drama. It's not even basketball. What is the point?
Yeah.
And like the whole, and it led into like I understand that it had to introduce what's his face. Hang on, Asakura. I have it written down. I have notes.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's a lot of notes. That's a lot of notes.
Because if I don't write them down, I don't know how to speak. So I have to do that. But I know I got that it was setting up his whole thing.
Yeah.
But like his whole thing, like I'm interested to read more of the manga because I really like his character and I really like his backstory. Like his whole backstory during like when they were talking about it during the match was really heartwarming, like really hit the feels. But like he just seemed like a really random character. Like
Yeah, what's the point of him?
What's the
He
point
has
of him?
Nothing
But,
to do with
like,
basketball. He's a guitarist.
I kind of like that he doesn't have anything to do with basketball, but I'm at the same time I'm like, what
I know,
are
I
you
feel
even
the same
doing
way.
here? Like, I really like that because, like, I mean, sports mangas you don't usually get any characters that don't have something to do with the basketball, but like,
I guess it's more for Mine Fuji's boyfriend now, because like remember like how they like were training,
Yeah.
and he was like rocking out with him. You know?
yeah, it's just gonna be them. Anytime they're in it, they're just gonna be in the background on guitars, just rocking out.
He did remind me of Ryan, the computer guy from Imadoki, though, because I was like, this is another character who does something assholey. He, like, made a huge cut in Akane's arm. Yeah, he had to get stitches. He was bleeding everywhere. He passed out, and yet they're like, no, we can be friends.
Oh, yeah,
It's fine.
good.
I'm like, no, it's not fine. Why does this always happen?
Tachibana was like, oh, whatever, we could forgive him. You know, it's
That was
he had his reasons. He went through things. He without even knowing. He's never really talked to the guy apart from that part when he like passed out. You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't get that too much. It was a little bit a little bit too much.
It was weird. Like, it was just a weird. I hope he does something else later on. Like, I'm interested to see what they do with him, or if he's just gonna be just there
Just a weird
the whole time.
I think he's going to be the one that sort of brings out the substitute teacher's backstory more, which I think will the coach's backstory, and then that's how I think will go. So.
I guess like he was the reason. Like he kind of did.
Yeah, exactly.
Her's backstory.
Like we didn't know that he was the guitarist for some famous band, and now we know that, and now they're training while listening to music.
Maybe he's gonna be a character that like helps. Maybe there's gonna be like another part in the series, in the second part of the manga, where like all the friendship is gonna fall apart again. And since he is like one of those characters, like he completely just doesn't care about friendship anymore. He's now slowly starting to build friends and friendship again. Maybe he's gonna like kind of help him together again. I don't know, get together. I don't know.
That was really touching.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, because remember he kicked all of his like friends' ass because they were like talking shit behind his back.
Yeah.
You know, that was what happened.
I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, he was called the traitor. He was called the traitor.
Yeah, that's so horrible.
Yeah, but now I think that's apart from that, I like maybe it is to help Mine Fuji's boyfriend like tell the backstory, more of his backstory. Even though we kind of got a little bit of his backstory so far, but we gotta know more about his musical stuff because like he's famous. Like Mine Fuji's boyfriend, he's kind of famous because that stabby dude, he realized who he was right away.
Yeah,
totally.
He's like, hey, aren't you that guy like, you're famous for playing guitar really well or something? So I wonder what he
Did you
thinks.
ditch your band? Because I totally ditched my band violently.
Yeah,
So we should
very
be
violently.
friends. Oh.
Let's make a third band.
Yeah.
Friendships. It just stops being about basketball and they all start a band.
It like switches to a weird band manga.
It's
They're like,
music. Yeah.
let's
Music
be honest, you're terrible at basketball, so we're gonna start a band. Just went a weird direction.
What if he's like secretly really good at basketball or something?
Yes, he just busted
He's
out.
got that really good aim with that knife. Remember, like at the end of like volume
man.
7,
It's
throws
true.
that knife right by Tachibana's face. That was scary.
Yes.
And the girl,
That was scary.
Samiri, is like, I knew he had the knife. Yeah.
I love how she's like, I knew he had it. I love how he gets out of the trunk.
Oh, yeah.
That made me laugh because I ride in trunks so often.
I thought about you when I read that. I was like, it's like Dodger whenever we go to lunch and there's too many people.
Don't worry, guys.
It's like you need a ride. No, we're good. We're gonna catch a bus.
Basketball.
All right, get out of the trunk.
Somebody in the chat just came up with the genre that this manga would become if it became a band from the basketball. Basketball.
Basketball.
I
The
don't know
Whip, Funky Jam, 174. You? I like it.
Oh.
Others may laugh, but I understand you.
Not sold. No.
You're not sold? Basketball sounds amazing. I don't know why
You're not sold on this? Allow us to talk about it for another 45 minutes.
That's it. That's the whole like topic of the rest of this podcast.
Boom.
Pros
Done.
and cons of basketball.
Basketball. Oh! Another
Yes.
character we forgot to mention. Bandage Head.
I love him.
Oh, he was awesome.
What do you guys thought?
Yes.
Oh,
been around a
he
while.
wasn't there too often. That's why.
Yeah, he was there a lot at the beginning, so I was like really surprised when he like dropped off. Like he's the one who told us that it was the captain at the
I
sports
guess he's
shop.
training. He's training more.
Yeah.
Because
Is
he's
that
on
what
that.
he
He's with the other school, so he's probably at school doing school things. I know.
The last match was on a
makes sense.
Sunday. The last match was on a Sunday. That's not a school day. So
But they have to
Yeah.
train. Remember?
Checkmate.
He said that he's not gonna be playing for his school until match 4. So maybe he started playing for his school now.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
We all just get quiet.
These details.
Where is he?
I do love that they're. What am I trying to say? I like that
Something.
people aren't really judgmental about like team friendships in this one, which I
Yeah.
guess that usually winds up happening in some sports manga. But I like that the only times that we've seen Bandage Head for the most part has been because he's like besties with the team captain for Kozu.
Yes.
He's just like always at his store, just like, hey, I'm buying shoes.
Ew.
Oh, there's.
Doesn't he remind you of like Kisei from Kuroko?
Yeah,
Yes.
he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
He does.
very
That's who
much
I thought of when
Very,
I first
yeah,
saw
he's
him.
very similar to Kisei.
Yeah.
Oh!
Is that 4? Is that 4?
Shit.
More Kuroko references.
Dang it!
It's gotta happen. We've gotta make it happen. Oh, speaking of Kuroko references, when he jumped really high at the end, I was like, Kagami's jumping skills. And the Achu, Kagami roars, and
that's true.
was it just the signature noise, him sneezing, the sneezing sound?
I didn't like that. That felt really out of place.
It felt really
so
forced.
weird.
It was really weird when it kept coming up as well.
Like I tried to imagine that like me watching the game and like Kobe Bryant yelling at you when he
Achoo!
See, I can imagine it more in the anime that working. Like I know there's an OVA series for it,
Yeah, we need
but
more.
I couldn't.
saw
The
that.
manga
I'm
just
interested in
didn't work.
watching that.
Yeah.
I think we should watch it for the next week, or the next time we finish this off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pull
only
an
2
old boy,
episodes.
be like,
Yeah.
everybody has to watch the OVAs and read the rest of the manga.
And 7 volumes of manga.
7 volumes of manga.
All of them.
And we'll all watch and read right before we go on.
Oh.
Yeah.
No!
All
We
we
have
do
to
is
get better
watch.
about
We
this.
need to get better. We need to have reading parties. We're all just reading manga together so we know what's happening.
Over Skype, we just like
We don't even talk.
We don't talk.
All you hear is pages like turning or like clicking up the mouse. Clicking.
or like scrolling.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you laugh, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm like 3 pages ahead. That was funny.
I know, that was like when Erin and I were reading Old Boy. I was on the couch and she was at her table, and I kept being like, ah! And she was like, what? And I was like, I'm a chapter ahead, don't even worry about it, just keep reading.
And then a little bit later I'd go, oh!
Like, wow, you just got there?
It's like, you're so slow, Anne.
Wow.
Gosh, yeah, I'm already finished.
Wow. Drash.
What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
Ooh,
I think about
Guys.
basketball, yeah. something about
basketball, yeah.
I believe.
What were your guys' thoughts on the art? Because it was a basketball manga, and like usually those are pretty heavy on detail action scenes. What? Why did everyone look at me like that? What?
What? I don't know.
I smiled huge because I was just about to be like, maybe we could talk about the art. And then you said art, and then I got really excited to talk about it, and then I realized that I shouldn't cut you off, so I was just like...
Okay. I was like, what did I say? I just asked a question.
Alright, since Dodger's really excited to talk about it,
yeah, Dodgers, you're so excited. You get the floor.
Go for it.
I like that everyone looks Asian. In
Yes!
this. Everyone is drawn to have a cartoony still, like very anime, but everyone has very Asian features, some stronger than others. But I actually really liked that. And I think that the art in general is just beautiful anyway. It's very clean. And I like everybody's hair. Hair is a big deal for me in manga. Like, the way that the hair is drawn is always a big deal for me, and I really like the way that everybody's hair is drawn, so... and everything's clear. In a sports manga, I feel like everything has to be very easy to follow, and I found all of the matches easy to follow, so...
Excellent.
Done.
Boom.
the art was good. It was good. It was the best during the actual matches because there was some really detailed, especially like around volume 7. Volume 7, that was when they had a bunch of double spreads. Those double spread pages were really nice, and they had some pretty intense like face-offs in that one. During that match between the like trainees when Hiragi like went over to the dark side.
Yeah. Dark side.
And they had some like
He
pretty
got his
crazy.
feelings hurt, guys.
Yeah.
It was all a big misunderstanding in the end.
Dude,
It was.
all of this manga is about feelings, which I find
It is.
hilarious because I was not expecting that.
It's the most
at all.
manly sport, and it's all about feelings.
It's
and
all
how they
about
feel.
people get their feelings hurt and then they do rash things and then they're like, no, but I've been waiting for you
Yeah.
all my life. And then everybody else on the team
And
is
then they
like,
punch
well,
each
they're
other.
obsessed.
They're
so-
obsessed with one another.
They're
It's
obsessed
because
with
of
each
you
other.
that I'm
It's because
playing.
of you. Because you called out to me. I have won so much. since then, and it
You're
shows him
my
doing the whole
soulmate.
thing.
Oh,
You guys, OTP.
Dazza, why
Wow.
were you doing this?
Yeah, what's your problem?
I
Well-
need you to tell me.
See, I thought
What's your
the,
problem?
the matches to start off, like when it got to volume 7, it got really good. But what to start off, it was very fast paced, and it was really not as realistic style. It was more animated in how they were doing it. But then they had the big, massive 2-page spreads with the sceneries, like the one with the car that I noticed, and they were so detailed. It wasn't funny. I was looking at it, I'm like, I could put this on my wall. I could really put that on my wall. That would look really nice up on my wall.
Like frame
Next
that.
week is gonna be framed on Daz's wall.
See, hopefully coloured somewhere.
Yeah.
But I just thought they were really nice. But one thing I did really like, firstly, is Harumuto. When he came into it, I was like, is he Spanish? Because of the mustache.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be like stereotypical here, but everything I've seen animated Spanish people with like you've got like
They
the
always
mustache.
They always have the mustache. It's like just like the
he
lines.
was like a delinquent. That's why he had a mustache.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's, I thought he
but
looked
no, the
so
rest-
much older. Go on, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
But the rest of the character designs are really good, and they were really easy to follow. And I really like the back as well. Like on the foreground, they've got the characters doing something normal. Then at the back, there's normally something strange going on. Their faces are a bit.
There's a lot of personality in her in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
thought
detail.
that-
You can. There's a lot of stuff like to catch. Like if you like actually look at the page, that you'll keep
Yeah.
finding more new things. In there.
I think
What ab-
the vice captain was the big one. I think at the start
Mm-hmm.
when he was like, "Always get me some tea," and he's like,
I know he was.
Ever so slowly, Akane became the one that was always doing something weird. Like, anytime there was an epic picture of all of the dudes at once, like, ready to play basketball, like that one, oh, I feel like it was in volume 5, when they're all standing there ready, and he's putting on his jersey, and one of them is like, "You're putting your jersey on backwards."
I
He's
was
like,
like-
"What?"
He's like, your jersey's on backwards. I loved that so much.
Yeah, I had a
Yes.
lot of good comedy like that. Not like something big, but just these like little bits.
Small.
Yeah, they were like
Very
small little
awesome.
gems that she placed for us.
Yeah, but about what Dazza said, like in the beginning, it was kind of the art wasn't the greatest. Well, it's kind of to be expected. Usually, like in the beginning of the manga, it's not as good as later on, you know. But I didn't really see like a problem that it took away from the start. Like you could still understand everything, all the motions, like what was happening during the matches and stuff. So it wasn't horribly bad. Not like Kuroko. Kuroko in the beginning was pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit harder to follow.
"There we go."
Oh yeah, Mark.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna say another thing.
Go.
For me, like, there were times where I had to reread the matches a little bit more. Like, there wasn't quite as much. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. See, this is why I have to write things down, and I didn't write anything down about this.
Just take a deep breath.
Calm down.
It's okay, Aaron. It's okay.
Everything is fine. Just pet your
Think
basketball.
through the
Pet your
basketball thoughts.
We believe in you, Aaron. You can do
Okay,
it.
I don't know if I can.
take your time.
So,
Take your time.
okay, for me, during the matches, I didn't think there wasn't quite as much time spent on it. Like, they would, like, have the ball, and then the next panel, someone else would have the ball. Like, it was a very quick, like, pacing. And sometimes that was hard for me to follow, because I was like, wait, who got the ball? How did they get the ball? I don't understand how they got the ball. And where's the ball? But, like, where is the ball? And so, but, like, in, like, Kuroko, I always found that was a little bit, not at the beginning, but I always found that was a little bit easier to follow, but I think that was because the matches made up so much of the story that, like, more time was spent on them. But in this, like, the matches are nowhere, like, they're very short. Like, we don't even see all of them. Like, it'll be the beginning of the chapter, and they'll start the match, and at the end of the chapter,
the longest
they'll be done
match
with the
was that last one in volume 7.
Yeah, and that one
Yeah.
went, like, 7 chapters?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think that was most of the
That
volume,
one
wasn't it?
was
That was
all
most of the
about
last 2
feelings.
volumes. And that one was all about feelings.
It's about feelings.
It is.
Yeah, I'm
That's totally what it
I'm
is.
wondering how many matches were there in the whole.
I think there were 3. There was
No,
the first
because
4.
yeah, no,
That Tachibana missed.
Oh,
right?
that's right.
And then the last one, the
They
first
lost.
one.
There's the one they lost.
4. There's 4.
Yeah.
There's 4.
There's the very
4
first
matches.
one. Yeah.
4 matches in 7 volumes.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, that's-
Kuroko, that's like What? That's puny. That's puny numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like any other sports manga, that's puny numbers.
Like
Yeah, you guys
there's
mark that
usually
down.
like a match for a long time, and then there's maybe like a few chapters, maybe 5 chapters, like tops, and then
Yeah.
it gets into the match again. So.
Yeah, and so like that was just something that threw me off because like there wasn't. It just felt so quick that like I had a hard time keeping up with it. But I mean the art looked amazing during it, but like it was just the way that like it was really fastly like paced. But I also the one thing that bugged me about the art, like I agreed with like the hair and I thought it was really pretty and her backgrounds were amazing, like the characters' face details were really expressive. But when they showed full body poses of them, they were so awkward. Like there was one when the girl was like what are you planning to do? Like her hands were like kind of on her hips and she was like it was really weird.
Yeah.
It was like a really weird. Thanks. Like it was a really strange like the poses, and I noticed that happened with the Psycho Knife Man, and then with Kondo. Like it happened quite a few times.
Yeah.
Where like it was a really awkward. Like the only two that ever looked like comfortable being full drawn posed were the two leads. Like those were the only two I ever noticed. So like that kind of bugged me, but I mean that's a really minor thing that didn't happen that often. Also, there was not that much sweat even during the matches.
No.
I was expecting more sweaty
Aaron.
boys, but maybe I'm just used to that because Kuroko has an overabundance amount of sweat.
That is
But I will say that there was not that much sweat. So, just saying, that's my art.
the sweat was even mentioned
It
at one
was.
point.
When it happened, it was a big deal. It's like, you're
What
sweating.
did he say? Tachibana's line was something like, "Until we face each other, you're not allowed to lose. Don't even sweat." And he's like, "I'm already sweating."
It's like, what do you want from me?
Oh yeah, he was sweating because like it was a hard game. Right?
Yeah.
because
The first
He was
half
like
or
carrying,
something.
he was like
Yeah.
working really hard, yeah. So,
Alright.
yeah. Art was really, really pretty though. It wasn't like, it felt more like on the shoujo side in a way too. Is that just me? Like it wasn't quite like, it wasn't as hard lines, it was very soft and
the cover.
That's because it was done by the same dude that does Tagami Bachi. That's his,
Yeah.
his style.
Was it a guy or a girl?
that's
A guy or a girl who
It's
wrote
a guy.
it? It's a guy?
It's a guy.
Okay.
After the
Whoops.
chapters, I have the little manga pieces.
I got
in
confused
the-
by those.
Yes, they were like little studio things. And that's for all the editors and stuff.
I love when editors do that.
I know.
Yeah.
They're so weird. And they always wind up doing something to the version of themselves that's in it that is super weird. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm actually a bunny person. Or, oh, my eyes are giant swirls. Like, alright.
Like, okay.
I think my favorite one was one of the assistants was on the toilet. And
That
he
was
just
the only
did
one I
this.
understood. It's the only one I could follow. He's like stuck in there. He's like, what do I do now? But yeah, sorry that I called you a girl a lot, Monica.
I'm sure he
Apologize.
watched this, so...
Because
I think every
he's
single
definitely
person-
watching.
If
I
he
think-
could, he would dislike this right now.
It's like, these
I think-
dummies.
He's like,
This
I hate this
girl.
person, just like.
Do not know what she talking about. Yeah, I think every single famous person watches our show. What do you mean?
Obviously.
Obviously.
Hi, Benedict Cumberbatch. Call me. I know you watch MangaPod, don't even pretend.
He's gonna call you out on Twitter.
Right?
Hey, Dodger.
How did you catch me?
How did you know?
No. How did you know?
I'm looking at my notes trying to figure what else like we haven't touched on yet.
It's hard with a sports manga because
It
like,
is.
it's it's a lot of repetition in terms of matches, but there is a lot of emotional type stuff that goes on in this one.
Let's talk feelings.
Can we?
Okay.
Yes, we can. Should we
talk
start with a specific relationship or should we start with a specific character?
I think
You
we should
guys?
start with the very overused but still appreciated relationship of the rich boy who can't quite find happiness and has a bad relationship with his siblings and his father.
Yes.
Go.
Let's begin. Who wants to begin? Boom, we started.
Wait, isn't that Madoki as well? Like the.
That is totally Imedoki, except
That's like the exactly same
You
same thing with
you
his father and the brother.
all the
And, like,
time.
Can we do the bet thing again? Because I want to bet that the brother is gonna come and try to take Akane,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
they're gonna fall in love, and then just Hiragane's gonna be like, "Dude, you can't take him from me. I found him first. He saved me first." And then it's just gonna be like
a battle to
That's
the
mine.
death.
Hold
a
on.
battle of the basketball death. That is what is gonna happen.
Bets for Thingo Isle.
Yes.
This is
yes.
like a yaoi triangle love.
When they said love triangle, there was a chapter titled Love Triangle. I was like, who's gonna
Yeah,
get
I
between
saw
them?
that as well. I'm like,
a
wait,
good
is
thing.
he? Yeah.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
this official now?
Yeah. I love it. I love it. It's great. They're just meant to be, team.
Well, where is it?
Where
What
is
are you
what?
looking for?
What are we looking for?
The file. I want to be looking at it.
Are you looking at the Google Doc?
I'm trying to find it.
Calm down.
Found it.
It's okay, Doctor. It's okay. There she is.
But so that's my bet. But I really at first
what
I
was the bet? I don't.
No, my bet was that the brother is gonna come and try to like get in between them.
Try to.
But these, you have to find
Right.
somebody to bet against you, and I agree with you on that one.
No, I'll bet against you.
Okay.
I'll bet
Oh.
against you and say that the older brother, the father will have a moment where he desperately wants his son back, and his brother will be like, "No, father." Because remember they had, like, his older brother had that moment with Tachibana where he found him amusing and then quoted him later in the car. I feel like he's gonna wind up being like, "No, Dad, he belongs with Tachibana." That's what I want.
That was such a funny scene though when he quoted that. He quoted
I
about
know.
something blooming, and his father's like, "Were you guys talking about gardening?"
Yeah, I loved that. I was like
Oh, man.
perfect.
Yeah, the more
but
we
they
discuss
were-
it, like we're just remembering all these like funny little moments. I'm telling you, it was a really
Yeah.
funny series.
It was a really funny series. There were so many. What was one, Dodger, you texted me where Tachibana that's his name, is chasing after the brother, and he's like, "These were the worst shoes to go, and I'm an idiot. Why am I doing these?
Oh
These
my
shoes
gosh,
are not
that
made
was so
for running."
funny.
It was
Akane is
so
so
good.
self-aware of how big of a failbot he is, and I love it. Like, anytime he does something dumb, he's just like, "Why am I doing this? I'm so stupid."
Yeah, and he
So
chased
good.
them like till like nightfall
Yeah,
Up
dedication,
some
you
mountain.
guys. I ship
up
it.
some mountain. He didn't even know where he was. He got lost.
OTP, right?
OTP. The brother and Tachibana are my OTP.
Yeah.
He chased after him. The brother saw him shirtless and gave him a towel. They were in a motel together.
Oh.
You guys, all of the signs are there.
Oh,
What about
what other bets are there?
what other bets can we have? What else? That was something I was thinking of as I was reading
I
it.
have one. Would anybody like to go against me that at some point the captain is going to hurt himself really badly and never get to play basketball again?
No.
Oh yeah, there's already been a sign.
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm with
Because
you.
remember when he jumped and he landed and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
the wind!" Like no.
That part made me tear up a little just because it was just so, like, real. Like, there are players that happens to, and he's just like, the doctor told me that if I play on it, then it's going to be 3 times as long before it'll heal, but I want to be able to play now. Like, I just want it to
Yeah.
happen now. And there's
I
always
want
players
to
that
take
happens
advantage
to.
of my youth.
Yes.
Et
And
cetera.
so, it just made me so, like, sad for him. I felt so much emotion for him. I was like, I just want you to be okay. And then every single time his leg, like, twisted a little, I was like, be okay. It's okay. And so so I'm not going to bet against that because I think that's going to happen and then I'm going to cry. Can we place bets on whether I'm going to cry?
No, because everyone will lose.
Everyone thinks he'll cry. What, Dazzle?
It's true.
I've got a bet. I think it's Gaku. I think that was the
Yeah.
name. Goku.
Yeah.
I think that Tachibana will beat him at the end. That will be like a massive, like, ooh moment. I've beaten my teacher, kind of thing.
Didn't that happen?
Yeah, didn't you already beat him?
I guess it
Yeah,
didn't count
but like
because...
one-on-one beat. That was more of a
Oh.
Hiragi beat. It's just gonna be like a beat. No.
Oh, beat.
I got a good one.
Okay.
Mustache man will finally find a girlfriend.
Oh.
What
And
if
it's gonna be like the
Mustache
most
Man?
random girl. Like she's gonna
It's
like,
gonna be that little kid
she's gonna
girl.
cheer for him like yeah, and he's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like one of those like cool bar moments, you know.
What if Mustache Man shaves his mustache at the
Oh.
end? The very last chapter, he
It
comes
won't
in
be
and
the same
everybody's like,
anymore.
"Who
It won't
are
be the
you?"
same. That
Who
was pretty
are
funny.
you?
That moment when he has to join the basketball, and he's like, only if you shave your mustache.
And he just never did.
Oh.
Can we? Oh, really? No, you know what? Let's keep talking about bets.
What? No.
No, it's so
What,
dumb.
Aaron?
It's such a dumb thought. Okay, you guys, when Tachibana is going to fight Toru, like goes and sees Toru and like Mustache Man, and then this is so dumb. Nobody's gonna remember this. And Hiragi is like just polishing the balls with the one
I
person
remember this.
who's just like,
Oh, yeah.
was that a guy or a girl?
That was a guy.
Okay.
That was a guy.
Okay, I was like, because they show somebody that looks exactly like
That's why
him.
Hiragi was just sitting there like
I know,
wow, what the
I
hell,
know.
man?
I
He's
love
like-
all of the hilarious like benched players. Whenever they like need extra people, there's this really awkward like Jello person that just shows up.
Just random Shibuya or whatever. Like he
Oh,
just
another
appears.
random person that I hope, like I wish that it was like a reoccurring joke. You know, Sumire's best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember, like in the beginning, she thought of this like hot guy or whatever, and it's like this.
Oh my
really,
god, and he was like really awkward.
He's like has this like head that looks like I don't even know. It's just. I was hoping like
Yeah,
that would
like
be a
an
reoccurring
onigiri
joke.
head. His head was
Yeah,
like a
they
triangle.
Yeah, it was
only
like
like
weird.
twice.
That was so
Only
funny.
twice, and I was like, that was so funny though.
That was
Because
so
he's like, oh, he's
funny.
so dreamy. Like,
He's so high.
Ah!
oh, that was awesome.
It's like, girl, you got interesting taste, but each their own.
Okay, here's a bet that I'll put up is that at some point Sumire will kiss Tachibana. He won't kiss her, but she'll kiss him.
And then it's gonna be like one of those almost like whatever.
It might
Yeah.
get awkward. It might
Yeah.
get awkward. I won't put into the bet whether or not it gets awkward, but I think that she will be the one to kiss him.
I agree with that because he would never
on the
do
other
that.
side.
He would not do that.
While her best friend is watching from like bushes. Or something.
Oh, from the bushes. Yeah, it'll probably
do
be.
it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. So awkward.
With the video camera.
And then on the side you've got the moustache man being like,
Oh, man.
Oh,
Poor
man.
guy. Poor guy.
I agree. Okay, I bet I take. Well, I'm with you on that bet. Is anyone betting against us?
I'll bet against
There
you.
are a lot of things that I wrote in the bets that
I think-
nobody
I think-
actually said they were against.
I think that with the whole kissing thing, I think it's gonna come close, but it's never actually gonna happen. It's gonna be like one
Okay.
of those moments, like when they're right about to kiss, and then like somebody shows up, and then they're like, be like, oh. So I don't think they're gonna kiss, unless like that's like the final moment of the series, but unless that, I don't think.
We need to figure out what we're betting because
It's
is
fine.
It just,
It's
is
fine.
It
It
just
all makes sense.
cred points. Is it just cred points?
Cred points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have
Okay.
a bunch of nickels.
Let's bring it back really quick. What was your guys? I don't know if we kind of already matched, but like, what did you guys think about that last match? Like your thoughts overall. Like, did you like how it was paced? Did you like how it ended? Like, what did you think during it? Like, was there anything that changed? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I thought it was like the perfect length because we got to see the feelings. We got to see Hiragi get his feelings hurt. Feel like we made this pact. We were gonna go to the top, and you're not even trying. And he goes to that camp, willing to leave everybody behind so that he doesn't get hurt anymore, right? And and we got to see like them separate for a little while and just kind of brooding and being impatient with one another. And then the actual clash happens, and I thought that the game went on the perfect amount of time. And we got to see like the shifts in everybody, but the game didn't go on obscenely long. We were there long enough to see the way that the characters changed, which I think again is why Kuroko is different, because in Kuroko it would have been like, no, we are going through every moment of this match.
Yes.
And in this, it's more about how the game affects the people rather than how the people affect the game. So, yeah. And I also liked the way that Hiroyuki like came up to them and was like, "If you guys still want me, I'd like to play with you." And they're all just like, "Buy us food."
Double servings.
Yeah,
pork,
double servings.
pork and rice.
It's so good.
Yes, I really like I think that's the most emotion I felt, like the way, just the dialogue with the pacing of the match and the animation and just the characters, like Hiragi's inner dialogue, and then how it ends with like them shooting the basket, I think is what happened, or like him and Tachibana clashing. Just that whole thing was like, I think I felt like I chewed up a little bit because like I just felt so much like emotion for the characters and empathy, and I just really understood where they were coming from and like just how it had built up with the past and how like they understood each other. It was just really well done. I thought that was the best emotional scene in the whole thing so far, and I just really liked it from like the beginning of the match all the way to the end. I thought like there was stuff in it that I wasn't expecting to have happen. Like I was expecting a little bit more drama, but it was still just like really emotional and touching, and so I really, really liked how he did it. So I really enjoyed that match. I thought the whole entire volume was just superb.
Yeah, that volume
I went
was
through
definitely
it so fast.
definitely
It was
best.
great. Yeah. So I loved that ending match, and I love that the characters stay in character the whole time. Like there's no character like sacrificed in order to move the plot along or have it reach the climax that he wanted it to. Like the characters are still so in character without it being like too distracting or taking away from the dialogue or anything. So that was really, really well done.
I don't know, I thought it had quite a bit of drama, actually. You said it didn't have as much drama as you thought it would. They were like yelling at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
I think
That is true.
I think when I said drama, like I was just expecting a different kind of drama, I guess. Like somebody somebody to actually physically like get really injured or like
There was
just
like
really
what drama was
dramatic.
it?
Like I thought it was really dramatic, but like there was different kind of drama I was expecting to come from it, I think. If that
Well, there was
makes
the
sense.
father drama as well in
Yeah.
that whole thing, where he's
Oh,
just
yeah, it
like,
was kind of like
oh yeah,
side.
I wanted to see
Yeah.
the match, but I'm going to leave because I have to train my team. And the brother's just like, but you're the one who wanted to come here. Why are you leaving?
Totally.
Yeah.
And then you had the coach as well come back, and she's like, I'm back. Everyone's just like, shouldn't you be in hospital?
Yeah.
Why are you
Like,
here?
why?
She's like, I just escaped. It's okay.
It's
And then
whatever.
at the end-
Don't worry about
And
it.
then at the end, she's like, okay, you can have me, but only for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was like,
Expensive.
That expensive, yeah.
I love that.
it's so funny. And Hirogi's just
then-
like, what did I walk into?
And at the end, after they already like left and like Hiragi left, he's just like, "Oh man, she was so hot. I wish she continued."
I know.
So
Can
sad.
we talk for just a second
Yes.
about Hiragi's terrible fashion sense with
Yes,
that fuzzy
because
sweater?
I
What
still
is
have
up with
that
that? It
screen
was like
cap
he's wearing
I
a
sent
fur
you.
It's
coat.
the weirdest thing to put him in.
Okay, hold
Oh,
up,
he's
guys.
rich.
Oh,
I
I
guess
have
it's a
it
rich
pulled up.
family.
Here you go.
It's a rich family thing, I guess so. Yep, there it is.
The whole
Fuzzy
jacket. The
Fashion.
Those
Sense.
pants aren't great either. He's just not good at dressing. I think.
It looks like one of those bubble shirts that girls wore in the 90s.
Yes, the
But
ones that are,
fuzzy.
like, when you take them off, they're like this big,
Yeah.
and then when you put them on, they're all like creasy everywhere. Yes,
That's
that's
exactly what
what's
it looks
going
like.
on up here.
Yes.
That's what he's wearing.
I didn't understand his fashion sense either. I was like, what is this? What is happening? Just stay in your basketball uniform. You look much better in that.
It's like all he wears.
All he wears.
But that last match, I thought it was great. Maybe it's because it was a lot of detail in there. There was a lot of detail in there, and at the same time there was a lot of detail in like the progression of the story, all the drama that was going on, and in the art. They had a lot of like those awesome like two-page spreads that were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Cool.
And a lot of the stare downs were pretty awesome as well. A lot of detail in like you can see the emotion like in their face, you know,
Yeah.
in their eyes. Like a lot of detail in the eyes as well during some of those moments. And it was like it wasn't too long. I don't think it went past like a volume. I think it was like half of volume 6 and half of volume 7.
Yeah, it was like a
match.
volume long.
And it was that was like a perfect length. And at the same time, a lot of things were happening. Like I was kind of sitting there, and since I've read other basketball mangas and other sports mangas, and I'm sitting there and I'm like kind of expecting something to happen, like like Hiragi, he's kicking Tachibana's ass, and I was expecting Tachibana's like to like kind of get up and start like owning him, but no, he was just getting beat to the ground when he's sitting there really like crying.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's what I meant earlier.
Like the
You said it
teacher
much
had to
better.
come up and like slap him, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody started like overreacting, like oh, what?
And then the like vice captain's like, "Do you want tea?" I wrote that earlier. There was
No,
one
but
point during
I thought it was really cool. It wasn't too predictable how that match was gonna go. It was kind of obvious that in the end he would come back to them.
Yeah.
But like the way how they got there was different, and it was kind of cool with the whole Gaku thing. That was another like layer to that. Like his teacher, his friend and teacher that that just completely left him, and like out of nowhere he's playing him. It was also kind of cool. Like another rivalry was thrown in there. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, I gasped when he was like talking about how Gaku played the same as Tachibana, and then when they were like in the practice week.
I thought he was gonna wind up being his brother.
Yeah, I know. I was like, is it his brother? And then I was like, you do not get to leave Tachibana for him. What you doing? And so it was just because he was he's like, I found a new partner, and I was like, no, you didn't.
Remember how crushed Tachibana was? He was like walking home.
I know.
Like he got his heart broken.
It was
like,
so sad.
Yeah. It's like shit. I got dumped.
Yeah.
He's like walking home.
It seriously was like that.
It's exactly what it was like. Yeah. But
He's
yeah,
like quoting what Hiragi said in his mind. Like, I found a replacement for you. What?
He was walking really slow. He's just
kicking a rock. Oh man,
it was so sad. But it all came together in the end, and it was fine.
Yeah,
so I'm interested to see what they do with Gaku in the future. Like you
Yeah.
said, to see them play one-on-one.
I'm wondering if they will.
One-on-one.
I'm wondering if they will do anything or like put that too much time on it, because we're like halfway into the story. I wonder how the ending is gonna be for this. Is it gonna be like?
I'm not convinced that they'll ever play one-on-one.
I doubt they will. Unless it'll be like one of those like 5-page matches at the end, kind of like to wrap up the story really quick. Give us
Well,
some.
they do it somehow in the championships again, don't they?
They're working towards the next championship.
Yeah, so they're gonna have the fight then.
Yeah, but will it be against them?
I don't know. It's 7 more volumes. So I wonder how they're gonna wrap it up. Because I'd hate it to have a bad ending. I'd hate.
Yeah.
It.
I am interested because like a lot of the stuff. Dodger.
Keep going, guys.
A lot of the stuff, like, I didn't think it didn't really follow a super predictable format. So I'm really interested to see how they round it out and how it finishes, like you were saying. I'm hoping it's not stupid, but I really don't know, like, cause like that, like the breakup part, like I would have expected that to go a little bit later, but so I'm interested to see how cause like, it felt a little bit like a climax, but like I'm wondering how they're gonna continue it. So I'm wondering.
Yeah, the story progressed.
I wonder what kind of conflict it's gonna be in the future. Like if it's gonna be them.
It's good that we picked the first 7 volumes, because it pretty much ends the arc.
It a good time, yeah.
Like imagine if we picked the first
perfect.
6 volumes. What if we picked the first 6 volumes?
I would have kept
would've
reading.
been
I would have been like, screw you all. I'm reading
That would have
it.
been horrible. I would have been like,
would've
no,
sucked
it's
a
in the
lot.
middle of the match. Like all this
so
crazy,
bad.
all these stare downs are happening. I can't just end here. Like
I know. It's like, how do we end this?
perfect middle point.
Yes, it was I was surprised by how perfect that was. I'm really glad that we chose to do 7.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this pretty much throughout the whole episode. But did anybody catch the Pokemon reference?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Pikachu.
Yes. I was like,
Pikachu.
am I gonna be the only one that didn't see this? But I did. So. It's okay.
No, I was just wondering. I was waiting for like somebody to mention that, because that was funny.
That
Pikachu.
was, yeah.
Pikachu.
The little.
I went and pressed it
So
up
cute.
everywhere here.
I'm just like Pikachu. It's so close to Pikachu. It's so funny.
I wanted to mention really quick something that stood out to me was there were so many times during the first part, like near the beginning and through the middle, that like something would happen and then Tachibana would go and beat somebody up. And then it would solve something. And then he would go and beat somebody else up and it would solve something. I was like, is every single conflict going to end with Tachibana beating somebody up?
Probably. Or trying to.
But I love that he continually fights. Even as he grows as a person, like, he still gets into fights. Like, he still has that punkishness, too.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Gaku's like, he hasn't changed one bit. He hasn't
Yeah.
changed one. Ever since we were like in first grade, second grade, whatever, he's still the same.
Yeah, multiple characters keep saying that. Like, he just doesn't change. He's the
Yeah.
same person.
Yeah, I love it. It was awesome. Well, we better get rounding it out here. We're a little bit at time. I know that we started late. We apologize again for that. It was no biggie. It's so sorry.
Everything works out in the end.
It all works out. Is there any final thoughts you guys have on Owl Generation Basket? We're definitely going to have to come back to this one, though, because I'm really interested to see how it ends.
I definitely recommend this one. Whether or not I like it more than Kuroko, I couldn't say. I think I'm more attached to Kuroko. 1, 2. But,
Be prepared.
But round it out. You need to round it out.
But they're very different. They're very different in how they present themselves and the characters. And I think I really like both, and I definitely suggest reading Owl Generation Basket in general.
What would you rate it?
Oh, man! Out of 10, right?
So far,
Yeah.
out of 10.
I would give it a... Oh, gosh. I want to give it like an 8 or an 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, girl, you
No.
do what you
No.
I'll
want.
give it an 8.34.
8.34.
8.345.
6.
What about you
5,
guys?
6, 7,
What about
8.
you guys? What do you rate it?
Like a 3. I'm just kidding.
Wow,
I agree,
wow,
I agree,
dude.
I agree with an 8. I agree with an 8. I thought about it already.
Aw.
And that was really good. The start is it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time with the start, but it doesn't take too long. After the first volume, you'll be into it already. You'll be enjoying. You'll be already like interested in what's up with the characters, what's happening, on how they're like what's gonna happen between these characters, because like all this awkwardness, and then
Yeah.
then more awkwardness.
Not as much basketball as you were hoping or thinking there would be.
Yeah, that's how basketball is. Just
Yeah.
awkwardness.
Awkward.
But yeah, it's good. 8.5. It's a good score. I'm just hoping that score is not gonna go down in the second
I
half.
know. Don't
Yeah.
pull an old boy aisle.
I just hope it doesn't
maintain.
go down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Have
very
the balls,
good,
gotta
and
get more.
definitely recommended.
Eight balls.
If you're looking for a sports manga to read and you've already cut up to Kuroko no Basket, read this one.
I agree.
Just saying.
Yeah. Daza?
It was alright.
Sultry look into the camera? Question mark.
It's a sports manga, and I'm not that into sports. But for the characters, I'll rate it quite highly. And for the animation, the drawings, I'll rate it quite highly. I'd say a 7.
Okay.
Alright.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, especially since you were
Because
saying
I think
you're
the
not-
story is better than the basketball as well. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. For
Erin.
me, I agree with Dodge and Yokorama. I'm gonna give it like an 8 point numbers because
An 8.99. Not
It-
quite a 9.
not quite.
But
doesn't quite reach that level.
8.9999999.
But yeah, like Dodger said, I don't think I do not feel nearly as attached or inspired or you should mark like 5 things down. But as I did to Kuroko, but I still think the characters are really good. What? No.
still, we're working on our
Yes.
counters.
Yes. But I loved I loved the art, I loved the characters, I loved the entertainment value of it, but it didn't have Kuroko. It didn't have Kuroko and Kagami. It didn't have all the sweats. It didn't have Midorima. It didn't have Almine. It just, you guys, it wasn't Kuroko no Basket, so I really can't rate
This on
it.
purpose.
Did you count the sweat? I think the sweat counts as well.
The sweat counts.
as a
I did not
reference.
count the sweat.
The sweat is
You
the
gotta-
It
only
was
thing
not
that
a
counts.
proper noun having to do only with Kuroko.
I was
Oh,
disappointed. No,
You
but
got
I
rules
was.
to this. You got rules to your.
I honestly, because I think I've read so much Kuroko, that I was definitely expecting more sweats. So I think that can be. I can be marked down.
So you were let down.
I was let down by all the sweat, you know? And it just wasn't that great. I was so sad about that. But I think overall, like, I give it an 8.99 because I just think it was really great. Like, I would also reread it. Like, I was entertained. I read it, like, by the 7th and 8th volume. Like, I couldn't put it down. I teared. I cried a little bit. So that guarantees it, like, a little bit higher. So, yeah. I'm really, really looking forward to reading the next few volumes and finishing it out. So I think, like everybody else said, I highly recommend it if you are all caught up on Kuroko no Basket. It's very different, but it still is very good. So, just knocked over my speaker.
And what manga are we reading next week?
We are reading, hang on, let me pull up the thing. We are reading,
The thing.
where the heck did it go? Oh,
All
there
the
it
way
is.
to the bottom. All the way.
There it is. Is it right next to next episode in all caps, exclamation points?
Yes, I try to make it obvious.
You need to bold it. You need to make it bold and like .38 font, and then.
Hold on. Okay then.
It is. No!
92. There we go.
But, oh god.
Oh, geez, wow.
You guys in the chat who can't see what's happening, it is now like .112. Where is it? Okay, there it is.
What? You spelled episode wrong.
You guys. We are reading Nisekoi volumes 1 through 5, aka chapters 1 through 44. It is should we pull up the synopsis really quick? It is a shonen action romance, I believe.
Yes.
So it's a little different.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
Right, That's a synopsis, man.
That's a synopsis. This shit.
I don't have it up.
I just linked it to you. I just linked it to your Skype. Right, man. Do the synopsis.
Nisekoi. Hang on.
Hold on.
Hang on. Hi, chat. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat's like Nisekoi. It's Nisekoi, guys.
Nisekoi. And it's like her.
Nisekoi. But I'm really excited about it because like the art looks really, really good. Like it's newer. I think it came out in like 2011 is when it started.
Yeah, it's a weekly
November
Shonen Jump title, and it's like only 60 chapters in, so it's pretty new. It's been coming out for like less than a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's good, hopefully.
It had really. Sometimes the way I find mangas is I just go to Manga Fox and I hit view and like see what the highest viewed are in each like genre. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try that out.
I do. I don't think that Manga Fox lets you do it, but there are certain websites where you can just put in multiple genres at once. I'm like, let me see if I can find a romance, sci-fi, fantasy, horror,
and
manga.
something comes up.
Yeah, there's always something.
There's
Always
a combination of
criteria,
everything out there.
Always something. We need to read a romance, fantasy, sci-fi, horror next.
That's
few weeks.
2 weeks from
Alright,
now.
suggestions, guys. You know where to find us.
Yeah, but we really do. We gotta read a horror.
#MangPod.
We
Okay,
gotta read a horror.
Yeah, we do need to read a horror. Horror.
Recommend us a horror.
Horror. Okay, let's read this really quick. Do you have it, Dazzler?
Alright. I'm just gonna do the first paragraph because there's a lot of it there. Alright. As a child, Raku Ichigo made a secret promise with his childhood sweetheart, keeping a pendant as a memento while his love took the key. He dreams of one day meeting his past love, but years later, reality smashes his hopes when Chitoge Kirasaki accidentally knees him in the face. And that's all.
Ooh.
Suspense right there.
Oh wow!
Alright,
In
that
the
sounds
face?
epic.
Right in the 8x10.
Right in the 8x10.
Dang.
Awesome. I will also link that on Twitter as soon as we are done here.
And I will retweet it because I'm too lazy to write it myself.
I retweeted you earlier because I was too lazy to write one.
And somebody corrected that I spelled the time zone wrong or something. I don't know.
You spelled the time zone wrong?
Well, I wrote P.
Yokorama, how dare you spell the times wrong?
No,
I
I'm
wrote
just trying to figure out how that happened.
Pacific Standard Time, and somebody else it's PG.
Oh.
Oh, because of daylight saving time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Silly daylight savings time. Silly.
How
dare they? But yes. But anyway, that is what we'll be reading for next week. If you guys, what am I trying to say? if you guys want to rewatch this, or if you want to like watch it after you've read the books or whatever, then you can find it on my channel after we are done here. And if you guys want to check out our co-hosts, where can we find you all? Dodger.
Dazza.
Dazza?
Just here, so. Hi.
Dazza's only on Twitch. Even if we're not streaming, he's
right
just sitting here.
He just sits in the chat. He never leaves.
Never ever.
It's true.
Guys, when are you coming back?
Has it been a week yet?
When is Tuesday? It's like Friday. He's like,
Oh,
Actually, Wednesday.
all the days blur together. Dazza, where can we find you other than on Twitch chat?
You can find me on youtube.com/fighting for Nippon.
Ooh, yes. Awesome. Yokorama. Where
you
can we find you?
you can find me on Yokorama Game Talk.
Where you talk about video games.
All the time.
All I do is talk about video games.
Only video games.
Non-stop. I don't even like anime. What is this garbage? Just kidding. All I do is anime. I actually released a video finally about the spring lineup. So if you guys are looking forward to or wanting to watch something that's coming out within the next month, you can check that out. And find me on Twitter. Find me on Twitter as well on Yokorama Talks or at Yokorama Talks, and I tweet there.
You tweet there?
Sometimes.
Tweet.
Sometimes he just retweets. There's a lot of retweeting that happens.
Yeah, I either tweet or retweet. Usually retweet, but I do tweet as well.
Dodger.
Hi. You can find me at youtube.com/pressheart-to-continue for gaming stuffs. And you can find my daily vlogs and DIY on youtube.com/dexterity-bonus. And my Twitter is at DexBonus, DEXBONUS. Come follow if you want to see my cat sometimes.
I love your cat pictures.
I love my cat.
That's the only reason why I follow you on Twitter.
I know.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's the only reason why anybody follows me.
If it weren't for the cat, I would have unfollowed you forever ago.
It's understandable. Really, nothing else of substance goes up there except cat pictures. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much.
23 seconds ago, I got a tweet from somebody saying, "Do you retweet mostly?"
Well,
I just retweeted that.
beautiful. I am Erin from HappiLeeErin. You can find me at HappiLeeErin, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin, and I am also HappiLeeErin on Twitter, where I also tweet about random stuffs. So yeah, you can find me there if you want to rewatch this. It'll be on my channel after this, and I also do anime reviews and first impressions and such like that. So I think that about wraps it up. Again, next week we will be here Tuesday at 7:30, hopefully, p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will be reading the first 1 through 5
discussing
volumes.
1 through 5 of Nisekoi, or chapter
Yes.
1 through 44.
Yeah, let's do it.
Be awesome.
Do it.
Just the end of this chat really quick, I just want you guys to know that the very last thing on the Google Doc, Yokorama wrote hi. Like 10 seconds.
And nobody replied.
No one replied.
That's really bad.
But on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. We love you all, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye. Mwah, mwah.